We have artist number 4, Matt Waruszynski, who was involved in the conversations right at the beginning when we were trying to develop how this might work with artists. And we're grateful for Matt coming on, not merely 10 minutes after he finished leading the life drawing classes that he runs at Norfolk House, but also a few hours, 3 or 4 days since he had his first child, or his good lady wife had his first child. So let's welcome Oliver Waruszynski. We're trying a slightly different model with this 4th one, and you can probably spot that it's quite difficult for Peter on keyboard to see the canvas, and it'll be even harder for the dancers to see the canvas. And Matt will explain a little bit about what he wants to do and how he wants to configure it when he starts. So when we've clapped you again, perhaps you can introduce yourself and your practice, Matt. Matt Waruszynski.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Matt. I am 2 things. I'm an animator and an artist. So animation is sort of my day job. Make cartoons, funky videos, that sort of thing. And I also paint. So I love to paint and I love to do live drawing and things like that. I really like figurative art. So what I was kind of hoping to do tonight was some amalgamation of some figurative art in there. And that's why I kind of wanted to look at what they're doing and use that to inspire me, Degas style. To be honest, we're going to see how it goes. I've never done this. So what happens in the next 10 minutes is as new to you as it is to me, and we're just going to see what happens basically. So using acrylics, and I guess I'll just talk you through the process. So, thank you. Like John said, I've literally just come from life drawing sessions. We run a group called Life Drawing MK, right in the city centre, opposite Marks and Spencer's, and just been spent the last couple of hours doing figurative work. And the thing that really I look for when I'm looking at something like this is some really cool shapes, and just a starting point. Not trying to do is create something that's actually really representative of what's going on. Which, as you can see, they're probably moving a bit too quick for that. So it's just creating a little, what's known as gesture drawing or gesture painting, trying to get some sort of interpretation of what they're doing. To use my sort of, it's kind of like a spider's web, and use that as my blueprint to go forward. Spaces in between and try and make something of them, still focusing on what the dancers are doing. For me, I like a lot of energy in my work. I tend to work quite quickly. It's making me tired just watching these guys. Than I thought it would do. We'll see how it goes. So one of the things I'm actually known for painting is still lives, and So I think I'm nearing a stage now where I don't want to work on it too much more. And again, there's no real reason for that. A lot of it I just work by sort of just figure out what's going on in my head, a bit gut instinct. Just want a little bit more red in there, and then I think I'm done. Feels like art and dance, it's the new rock and roll. Okay. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you, Matt. Was it how you thought it might be?
Going into it, I sort of no idea. This is totally different from anything that I've done before. Whenever I'm painting a model or a still life or whatever, their kind of job is to a certain extent to be still. So I just threw back to my sort of in my mind my background of working in animation and trying to come up with some gestures that kind of reflect what the dancers were doing, and then they definitely gave me a lot of sort of things to go for.
And you said right at the outset that you wanted to take a lead from what the movement was.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of like, I don't want to sort of, I don't create too much from what's in my head. That's probably quite a dark place to go. So I kind of instead see what's in front of me, and I like to take inspiration from that.
So dancers, you didn't do still very well in that one, did you? How far was it a complete extemporization where you went somewhere you weren't expecting to go, or did you start with a theme and a structure that you then were able to keep broadly within?
We started, because we knew that we were the ones kind of setting the tone for the piece, we wanted to go very like angular and use like big lines. So we started with a phrase that we actually originally choreographed, and then we were working to improvise with that, and then it totally got lost in the end, and we made different shapes as we got through. So we went a lot off the music as well, as we kind of slowed down, so the music really slowed down, so we brought it a lot more slow, and then brought more part work in, and then we kind of both ended on the floor, being really naturally came to an end.
What was clear to all of us was that you two are very well used to dancing together. So you think in each other's brains, so you're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And I thought, Daniel, how did you find it?
There's moments I just wanted to explode, like just want to go all over the place. And the music kind of drove that, but I guess lack of space, like I just wanted to zoom across the stage, go all over the place. But kind of had to kind of keep my explosions to myself and kind of keep it in packed. But yeah, it was nice. Whereas before we were kind of going off the music and the painting, whereas this time it's kind of us, and we could kind of do our own thing in a sense. Yeah, it's nice. I enjoyed it.
Peter, did you feel that your role was different as the music in that one from the other three?
Yeah, I was focusing more on the dance. I could see it a little bit. But the narration, because even though it's like figurative, abstract type, very inspirational. The movement, the flow between Kennedy and the dance is amazing. How they feed off each other. So that compels me to, whatever I'm doing, do more of it, do less, try and enhance or less.
I thought the ebb and the flow in the piece overall, the music and the dance ebbing and flowing, given what Matt was doing, and I thought the ebb and flow was really striking, more so than in the other ones.
Right.
And it was another one where the audience was entirely quiet. So now is your opportunity to shout and cheer and make ribald comments. How was it for you guys? Soothing, a good way to close.
I wonder if it's easier for the artist to interpret dance and music than it is for music and dance to interpret painting. Because it seems guided by obviously a more figurative flow. So I mean, you had something to look at rather than, I felt there was perhaps it's more an easier communication that way between the three. So it sort of tends to blend a lot more.
We certainly want to look at the dynamic of this was a different dynamic from the other three because it was very much dance led.
I think so, yeah, because there was more of a subject to relate. So I think maybe it's easier, well I found it easier as an audience member to relate to what they were doing to deliberately what the artist was the shapes you were creating and that sort of thing was more obvious. And then I think maybe the colour palette is influenced by the music or whatever, I'm not sure, but maybe that's just the way I sort of find it easier to relate that way than the opposite, trying to see how a dancer would relate to a picture rather than following the gestures or
But in the earlier pieces, I did feel that you, the dancers, were occasionally pausing to look at the art and taking some inspiration from the art.
Yeah.
This time, you had no artistic input, and you were the input, and Peter was the input. So it was a different relationship. So in terms of, as you're saying, Stephen, where does the lead and where does the response and where does the harmony come from? This came from a different place.
yeah.
And when we're learning from this event for future events, exactly how we configure the space up here is really important. I mean, everybody needs to get to see and to hear. Everybody can hear all the time, but not everybody can see all the time. And so I think that the mechanics of how the place is laid out. We also want to look and see how we can get different ways of being in and among and with and close to the audience for next time. Next time we do this, incidentally, we won't be in this location because it's not available that week. So we will be in a different location, which in itself is going to change the dynamic. Anyway, I thought this was a treat. So thank you, all of you, for that, and thank you, Matt, in particular.